All right, so far we've talked about three of the four reasons that the United States got involved in World War I. We've talked about the pro-British feelings. We've talked about the Allies owing a lot of money, $32 billion to the U.S. banks. We talked about the German U-boat campaign and the sinking of the Lusitania. Finally, I want to get to the last reason, and this is the Zimmerman telegram. Now, the Zimmerman telegram, I'm going to actually show you a copy of what it actually looked like, and you can see from this it means nothing. It's just a series of numbers that are put together. This is coded message, and this message was actually intercepted. It was not intended for anybody in America or anybody else to receive. It was sent from one German official to another German official. Well, what had happened is the British intelligence agency in 1917, they intercepted this message and they were able to for them, fortunately, be able to decode it and to read what it said. This message was sent from Germany to Mexico. This was sent by a man by the name of Zimmerman. His last name was Zimmerman, from Germany. And he sent a message to the embassy, the German embassy in Mexico. And he said, listen, the ambassador, the German ambassador, you need to go approach the Mexican government and tell them we don't want the United States to enter this war. We don't want one more person to fight, one more country to fight. So all we need you to do, if America declares war on Germany, Mexico, all I need you to do is go up to the northern border, the southern border for us, the northern border for Mexico. And what I need you to do is I need you to just start a war, start a fight with the United States. You don't even have to win, but just start a war, keep them busy. Because what would happen, the United States would then send troops down to fight Mexico, and the more troops that were fighting Mexico meant that the fewer American troops that would go over to Europe to fight Germany. And that was the idea. Now, the bonus for Mexico, why in the world would they ever do this? Because Germany then promised Mexico, when we win this war, what we'll do is that land that you lost in the Mexican-American War, that whole southwest part of the United States, we'll give you part of that property back. It'll include Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico. You're going to get all of that back. Now, we don't know if the Mexican government would have ever done this in the first place. We don't know that because it was intercepted. It was very interesting because the British intelligence agency could have sent this to the President of the United States, but they didn't trust him. What they said was, we're going to send this to the American newspapers because these guys will print that story and all the Americans will know that the Germans are trying to get Mexico to fight with them and try to get our Mexican friends to fight with us, and that's not good. So the British were trying to get the American public all excited about a war, and it worked. This was finally the last straw. And like I said, after this went out in the U.S. newspapers, shortly after that, the President of the United States, within a few months, President Woodrow Wilson, he requests Congress and he says, listen, we need to go enter what they called the Great War. It wasn't called World War I yet because we didn't have a World War II. We thought this was going to be the only war ever fought like this. Anyway, so President Wilson gets the okay from Congress and boom, off to war we go. All right, so there you go. The four reasons that the United States entered the war: pro-British feelings, money that the Allies owed the United States banks, the German submarine or U-boat campaign, and finally, the Zimmerman telegram.